The moment your team starts treating you differently after you get promoted usually happens quietly. People pause before they speak to you, or the way your team interacts with you now just feels different. It's subtle, but you can feel the dynamic shift. This is one of those leadership moments no one really prepares you for, and a lot of managers respond to it the wrong way without even realizing it. So before you start second guessing yourself or wondering if you did something wrong, let's talk about what's actually happening here. Because once you understand these shifts, everything about leading starts to make a lot more sense. First, the distance isn't rejection. At first, this can feel personal. People are a little quieter around you, or they choose their words more carefully, and your brain starts telling you a story. But most of the time, that distance isn't rejection, it's awareness, and they're adjusting to your role. And once you understand that shift, something clicks, because what most managers do next is where they accidentally make it worse. Trying to stay the same usually backfires. When managers feel that shift, their first instinct is usually to undo it, and they try to prove they're still the same person. So they stay overly casual, avoid tough conversations, or try to keep everyone comfortable, because they don't want the team to think they've changed. But here's what no one tells you. The team already knows things have changed. And when a manager tries too hard to hold on to the old dynamic, it actually creates confusion. So once you stop trying to undo the distance, something important starts happening instead. And this is the part nobody tells you until you've lived through it. This is when leadership actually starts. The moment when your team starts seeing you differently is actually an opportunity. It's the moment they start learning what kind of leader you are. Because now they're paying attention to things they didn't watch for before. Like, how do you respond under pressure? How consistent are you? And whether your words match your actions. That's when trust starts forming. Not when you try to stay exactly the same as before, but when your team sees you settle into the role. And that's not a bad thing. That's how trust gets built. So once you understand that, this next part is one most managers don't realize until much later. The real shift is actually internal. The biggest change isn't happening in them, it's happening in you. Because this is the point where you stop trying to be seen as a good leader and start focusing on being one. You stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, what does this team need from me right now? And here's what nobody tells you. That's the shift. And when that happens, leadership stops feeling like something you're trying to prove and starts feeling like something you've settled into. And that's when leadership finally starts to feel real. So if your team feels differently lately, it doesn't mean you've lost them. It means they're starting to see you as their leader. And this is just one of the moments that happens when you move into leadership. There are a few others that almost every manager runs into sooner or later, and most people aren't prepared for them. I actually break those moments down in this video here. So if you're figuring leadership out as you go, I think you'll find that one helpful. And if you want more real talk about leadership, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.